All right, we have eyebrows, we have eyeshadow, we have foundation, we have concealed, we have highlighted, we have contoured. Now we need to make sure that all the little nooks and crannies stay in its place. I present to you the Buff and Bake. So, what you're gonna definitely need for this is foundation brush. If you don't have one and you're more comfortable with a beauty blender, by all means use the beauty blender. I have a beauty blender as well. One thing I like for the no makeup looks though is a brush like this. It's supposed to be a fluffy crease brush. I will show you what to do with this in just a sec. So what you're gonna do is, you wanna go back under your eyes especially. This is my most difficult space for me. Some people it's under the eyes, some people it's the forehead creases, some of you have really wonderful laugh lines, that means you're happy, good for you. Sometimes there's crow's feet and on the corners there. Even though you're wearing primer, your makeup is still wet, it's still moving around, and you definitely need to make sure that your makeup isn't settling into those creases and building, because what happens is the makeup settles in there and it makes the creases even deeper, and we don't want that. So this is what we do. I am going to go in with the Cover FX translucent powder. This has a little top cap that you snap open, and then you kind of get to have a bit of a portion control, because I know powder can just get everywhere. It's literally poofing in my face right now. So I've put a bit in the cap here, probably way too much. You don't need that much for this tutorial, but here we are. So you're gonna want to take your fluffy brush and you want to kind of coat all the way around, and then you just wanna tap out the excess cocaine. You definitely want to go in with a translucent powder. For all of you who are very pale, a very light powder works for you. People right in between, in the yellows and the beiges, you want to go translucent. Once you start getting darker pigmentation, you actually want to go for more of a banana yellow powder. Just FYI. If you want to know more about what I would suggest for you personally, inbox me and I can give you some recommendations. So now that we have this guy coated, you're gonna take this guy, and I don't know if you can see, but I already have creases forming because I did not set my makeup under here. So I'm gonna go back in here with my brush and just kind of buff that back out. And this part is a little tricky for those of you who like to move around and move your eyes around especially. This is harder for me too. This is one of those really quick things you have to do. So you have this, it's ready to go. You're gonna wanna go in, and as soon as you have buffed out that line, you're going to want to lightly pat in the setting powder. So I have buffed out the lines. There is no more makeup in there. And now I am lightly patting in the Cover FX translucent cocaine. You can see the difference. If there's excess product, if you can kind of still see a white one, then you can just lightly fluff it out. This is why we get a nice light fluffy brush, because it's light and you're not pulling. So, other side, you're gonna coat the brush, get some of the excess cocaine off. You're going to buff, always upward, always lightly, don't pull, no need. And then you're going to want to keep your eyes all the way open and start putting that product in there. Now, why do you want to pack setting powder in your face? Well, because rubbing the setting powder in just moves the wet makeup around. We don't want that. We don't want any makeup moving. We have it where we want it. We want it to stay put. It's kind of like putting a heavy stone on top of something with a crease. It helps to keep the crease from making itself deeper, and kind of irons it out. So, ta-da! Now, probably wondering, hey, there's a white ghosty thing going on under there. For my no makeup look, we're gonna go take a big fluffy face brush, and we're just going to lightly fluff out the excess product. Again, you can fluff it out and then kind of pat it in. Then I like to take a little bit like that and kind of just circular motions around the face. If you're not like really into shiny, this is a great way to kind of eliminate a lot of that shine all over your face. Now, I don't have any other really problematic places on my face that I need to bake, but just for the sake of doing it for you, I'm going to, I don't know if you see my forehead wrinkle when I do that. So I'm gonna do this again on that area, and you're just buffing it, patting it. Make sure not to like crease your forehead while you're doing it. You're gonna wanna like smooth your forehead out, buff that, and then just get her in there. Perfect. Again, not something that I typically have issues with, but I will show you with laugh lines so you kind of have an idea of what you're looking for. Same basic concept, but for this one, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. We're gonna buff that out, try not to talk too much, and you're gonna wanna go in there. And this time, you wanna go a little bit heavier, because what I've learned about laugh lines is it takes a lot longer for these guys to settle in, especially if you're the smiley type. So you are gonna have a bit of a white ghosty thing there, but it's totally worth it. For this, I would say wait about 2-3 minutes with the ghost line. Then you can go in with a little bit of powder on your fluffy brush. You can even like fluff it out, and then circular motions, buff it out. And for no makeup tutorials like this, you don't need a lot of product. You're going light. You don't want people to know that you're wearing a lot of makeup, or any at all for that matter. So this is pretty much where I would say like, this is the amount of powder you would want. So yeah, there you go. Buff and bake, setting. You're welcome.